an estimated 0.1% of the world's population is deaf. There are about 10,000 deaf people in Austria as of 2017. According to Med-El, 300 cochlear implant surgeries are performed in Austria every year, and in the meantime, as many as 90% of deaf babies receive an implant. As much as 1.7 million euros is spent here on implantations annually. This is a very controversial topic. A CI operation is not without risks, and it has an effect on the identity of the individual. On the other hand, a CI may also create new communication possibilities. In the following video, we would like to let CI users and the Austrian Cochlear Implant Society have their say and gain an insight into the different perspectives. I wear my CI the whole day and I take them out to sleep. It depends on different situations. At deaf events, I either leave my CI at home or I turn it off, because I communicate exclusively in sign language. I'm used to it, but in everyday life I switch it off every now and then, or I simply leave it at home. When I go to bed, I take my CI off. Afterwards, there is peace and quiet, not a single noise, and it is totally silent. That's why I have no trouble sleeping, and I can completely switch off. People who can hear can't do this. Background noises when you're trying to sleep, such as a car driving down the road, you hear that. I don't. When I'm in the shower or bath, I take the CI off. It's really relaxing. What could be better?
The standard situation when you would normally take it off are swimming or sleeping. Or in defense, such I don't want to, so I took my CI off.
I wore my CI actively for 4 years. Then I decided not to use it anymore because it was simply too much pressure and too stressful. I had severe headaches and I needed a break, so I took it off. So I could calm down. At school I had to wear my CI all the time, and the teacher checked whether I was wearing it. Sometimes I hid it in my desk, so I could have some peace. At school I had to wear my CI again just to cope with the pressure. Of course, wherever there's only verbal communication, I wear my CI. If hearing people cannot use sign language, I turn on my CI.
In general, I am happy with my CI. But for example, if I remove it, people are sometimes astonished and ask me why I would take it off, as I can hear so much better with it. Sometimes I need and want peace and quiet, and so I take it off. Or I just turn it off so that I can concentrate fully on visual language. I do not need to use my CI constantly. If the boss or family communicates with me in spoken language, then I use it. If I do something with my deaf friends like walking or swimming, or when I am showering or sleeping, then I don't need my CI. In other words, there are two different situations. I am satisfied with my CI, but I don't have to wear it without fail. No, I really don't. My daughter, my oldest daughter now, she's 22 years old. If I had a deaf son or a daughter in the future, I would think it over very carefully. I understand that carrying out a serious CI operation on babies is a tricky subject. That's why I would wait until my child is grown up, then it can decide for itself. She was born bordering on deaf. In other words, she hear almost nothing. She always had either only air or light. She could discern light or drives under the door.
So I would, if I have children, and they are deaf or very hard of hearing, I would immediately agree to CI surgery while they're still young. Why? So they have a better start in life.
If everything fits, the whole prehistory, the environment fits. And if the ENT says it's okay, then I would already do it. Because of work, the boss cannot use sign language, but I can communicate in spoken language. During the holiday, I can meet up with my deaf friends, with whom I speak in sign language, or I visit deaf clubs, such as the football club.
First of all, I have a cochlear implant myself. I've seen many small children grow up with CI.
I think it's better to wait until a child is 2 or 3 years old before operating. I would recommend that children practice listening and speaking on a daily basis until they grow up, but it is important to learn sign language too, so that both the hearing world and the deaf world are accessible.
If the doctor agrees to perform CI surgery, it's okay. It's also okay if he thinks you should wait a while because there are other problems with your hearing or something else. When my hearing family got together at family gatherings, they knew I'd just had a cochlear implant, and they had the attitude that now that I could hear everything normally and could follow what they were talking about. But it's really impossible to follow conversations or dialogues in a big group. It takes tremendous concentration, a lot of pressure and focusing on communication, and reading lips is exhausting. Using CI was not ideal for me. I was invisible somehow. They did not realise that I am deaf. As a deaf person, if I concentrate hard, I can follow a spoken language conversation with one person. But group discussions with hearing people, no, that's not feasible. I myself and many other people who are deaf or wear CEI have experienced being different. You believe that you are the only deaf person in the world, or that no one is like you, and that there is often a desire to adapt to the listening world, to be the same as the hearing person. That will never be possible because you are deaf. That's why it's important to get in touch with like-minded people who have had similar experiences and interact with other deaf people. In this way you develop self-confidence. Without this interaction, how should it work? Also in schools, it's important that classes are mixed with both hearing and deaf children because then both worlds can benefit. Being the only deaf person in a class and integrated with hearing classmates, it's difficult to develop self-confidently as a deaf person. At least that's my opinion.